Hey, Matt.
Hello. There.
What are we doing?
I'm dying.
You are dying, so it's not a we
Um,
thing, though.
True. You're going to have to deal with my dead body decaying in your house.
Yeah, I say you deal with drop off in your front yard. Yeah,
Rot out there with the leaves.
your front yard, not mine.
I have leaves too.
Yeah, fine with me. Makes it Sam's problem, not mine.
We're doing a podcast, Gamers 2 podcast,
For the
for the week of October 26th.
Yep,
Nailed it.
well done.
Nailed it. End of the month. End of October.
Last one officially for October, even though October continues into next week with the spooktacular day that is Halloween.
That's frightening. It's moving too quickly.
Yeah, 2 months and we're done with the year.
Wow.
3 weeks till Black Friday.
Wow.
Well, 4 weeks.
Happens
3 weeks after
fast.
Yeah, I feel like this year's gone by pretty quick.
I also feel that way.
Yeah. I was like, oh, we're at the end of September? Oh, it's the end of October. All right, then. I was looking at documents I have at work. I'm looking at the times of, like, the last times I modified them. I was like, oh, I must have done this last week, and it's, like, September 3rd. I'm like, all right, then. So, yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah. So what have you been up to since last week?
Since last week.
Yes, since 7 days ago.
Let's see here. Games wise, played a lot of Forza.
Yeah?
A lot of Forza Horizon. A lot of it. Maybe too much.
A lot. Oh, ooh.
No. No, it's up there. I hate the frickin' wheel spin things.
The slot machine?
Yeah, it just annoys me because like I never win anything good. I always just get like clothes and horns. That's it. Like that's literally it.
I heard horrors and had to think about it for a second. Clothes and horrors. Clothes and horrors.
And I just like I don't want to see it. Like I don't want to see it. If I'm just gonna win like clothes and horns, I don't want to see it.
Right? Yeah,
Just go away because like I don't want to see the things I could possibly win in air quotes there. Possibly win.
Well, the worst is when you see like a car you want in it. And you're
Yeah,
like, "Ah."
all the time. And if I do win a car, it's something like I don't even know, like just some piece of shit. Like
I've won a few cars out of there, and they're at no point about to be driven by me unless I have to.
yeah, I don't know. That's frustrating. I won one good car, and it was a Zonda.
Oh, Pagani?
Yeah, haven't used I forgot I won it actually until just now. Because I tend to just like I just use the same cars all the time.
She used in
like,
the off-road races.
Yeah, they go over well. I've fought. That's another thing. So, like, I've been trying to, set up my cars the way I want them, and I've had that Aerial Nomad.
Okay, yeah.
Good car, love it. Try to use it for all the off-road races, but it is like it just never handles right.
Really?
Yeah, it just turns into like
I think I used one during I think it's in one of the stunt stories.
yeah, like forces you to use one.
Is
Like
to
that's
use
the-
one of them. Is that the vehicle? And I don't know. Felt fine to me.
Yeah, well, I gotta you gotta tune it, you gotta modify it.
Oh yeah, you got to break it.
And that's it. You brakes it, and then like I was trying to like get it to not act like a freaking rabid weasel while it was at high speeds, because you get going past a certain mile per hour and it just wants to like
Right.
go all over the place. But yeah, that's the Horizon life
Fair enough.
at this point. I don't know like how many races there are, but I'm like slowly been trying to clear out the entire map. And
Okay.
I'm probably like I have like the left side of it predominantly done. Yeah.
I haven't really jammed since we jammed the other night.
That's all I've been doing is just playing that when downtime because Samantha's been playing God of War.
Ah, yeah.
So
Makes sense. She slays demons. You slay the asphalt. I don't know.
yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. I don't think that's really how racing works, but yeah, go with that.
Then played a couple minutes of Red Dead, like 15, 20 minutes. I'm sure we'll talk about that at some point.
Oh, I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of Red Dead.
And then I've been watching the anime this week that I've been watching.
The anime of the week is
Goblin Slayer.
Oh, okay.
It was recently created a bit of a hubbub, one would say, because the first episode, it's a new anime. The first episode was very graphic, and there was no warning.
Like,
so
in slaying goblins graphic, or like...
We have this podcast is bad, so we'll just...
It's always marked, it's
So
always marked
essentially-
explicit. You shouldn't have kids listen to this. There's your disclaimer.
So
Moving on.
the idea is to make the show, the goblins, seem genuinely bad and terrible.
They're Nazis.
They're not Nazis.
Oh, all right.
But in classic Japanese anime fashion,
They're sex beasts.
kind of.
They rape people.
They did.
Mm.
And it wasn't marked graphic, like
Ooh.
viewer.
Discretion is advised.
Yeah. So there was a lot of people upset about that.
I wonder why. Goblin rape.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because it's the whole thing that, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So,
Right.
It's
now
a
it's
new
just,
anime.
now it's more popular.
yeah, now it's probably, the most popular anime because everyone's like, what's they talking about? Let
What
me
do you,
watch
what do
this.
you mean goblin rape? I want to watch Click.
So, yeah, there's 3 episodes out. I've watched all 3 episodes. It's okay. It's fine. It's got an interesting concept because,
Because goblins rape people, Matt?
I mean,
Is that what you want to go with here? Is this what you want to stick your flag in?
I'm sticking my flag at the fact that the Goblin Slayer is killing the bad goblins.
There's good goblins?
That's a good question. There is not. He kills all the goblins. Let me rephrase that. He kills all the goblins.
So he's having a genocide against the goblins.
Basically. And he's genuinely like, no, I need to murder all the goblins.
like,
Let me light all these motherfuckers on fire. And he wears shitty armor, and everyone makes fun of him because his armor's not clean, and he just kills goblins, and he's a higher rank, and they're like, how did he get that high rank? By killing just goblin. And he's just like, where the goblins at?
I want nothing to do with you humans. Give me goblin blood.
Yeah. And of course, there's the little blonde anime girl who's following him, who's new, and she's like, I'm innocent. Show me your ways. And he's all like,
I want to be like you, senpai.
exactly. And he's wearing metal armor and 7 feet tall, and she's 4 feet tall and wearing white robes, and she's like, and then
we kill it with our anime laughs.
I know we should do how Funhouse does their terrible movie thing there. What's it called?
Terrible movie thing. The show's not terrible. What he means is the equivalent of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, but there's
Theater mode.
Yeah, theater mode. We should do that for anime.
Oh, God. That would not go well.
I mean, it'd be funny.
It'd be funny. We would also get copyright struck unless we got the licensing.
Yeah, which never would happen.
Well, I mean, we could buy it, but you immediately know right there how expensive that is.
What else have I done? Oh, I watched, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it's Oliver Stone's Untold History of the United States.
It's a TV show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It was a TV show.
Yeah. I've seen
It's 10 episodes.
I've seen some episodes.
Dude, he loves the Russians, man.
Let's put it this way. I've seen shows like that I believe do not exist now, so they have been moved to whatever, Netflix and stuff.
This is my life now.
Dude, I do it all the time. Are you kidding me? I'm pretty sure I walked around Target like that before, and people were like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, listen, man, I got to stop this nose from running fluids through it. So I'm going to shove whatever I can up there to get it to stop.
Not whatever, but, some things.
There's some days.
So it's interesting because he seems... I mean, obviously the Russians were very important. The Soviets were very important in World War II. Very important.
I mean, they were there.
I want to...
Let me belittle the Soviets for no reason.
I want to look into it more now because from his point of view and his show, they single-handedly won World War II.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about when everybody's like, oh, it's just the Cold War. It's not just the cold. There's a lot of other things that went into it. Granted, maybe not correctly, but they did.
So it's just piqued my interest in that subject, and it's an interesting point of view. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. What have you been doing?
What have I been doing? I've been doing the huge, as one might say. I've been playing me some FIFA. Keeping up with the grind.
The FIFA grind. You guys got a tournament going?
No. That didn't go well last time.
That's like the third time it hasn't gone well.
Yeah, most times it doesn't end up going well. We always love the idea, and then real quickly we realize, oh yeah, certain ones of us are worse than the other ones, and the ones that are worse do not have a fun time. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Maybe we should get like a racing tournament going.
Do you really want to do that?
I don't know. We can see how it goes. It probably wouldn't go well for me, but
I feel like so here's the thing, right? I don't know how the versus works in Forza. No,
I've never done it.
I'll screw. Forza is also what I was playing.
Mm-hmm.
I went through and did all the stunts, and then I did a couple other races here and there, but I haven't really sat down with it.
Mm-hmm.
But if we did the versus, say it was just you and me on a track, I'm curious how bad that would go, because when you and I have raced with the AI, we've had problems.
Yeah.
Mostly you've had problems. I had a problem in one of the races and I got screwed, but you seem to either get screwed quite a bit or like missed a turn or something and went to that tree that one time when you and I were in like first, second.
So after playing it extensively, the AI is a disruptive factor, mainly because like they kind of act erratically at times, going into corners, like approaching a corner. So you can't really, like, I'm very much a person where I see a gap, I'm going to hold to that line. They'll just like randomly move in and out of racing lines. Like, and it's frustrating as fuck. And then if they get in front of you or you make contact with them for that reason, they won't move off of you.
Yeah. There's no getting them off.
And if you try to move off of them, they'll just stick to you.
Yep.
And then the other thing with Forza that's kind of irritating to me is that like you can't recover from a mistake. If you make a mistake during a race, that's it. Your race is done. Like you if you're playing by yourself, you just restart.
Yeah.
Or, rewind or whatever. But if you're playing with someone else, obviously that's not an option. So
no,
it's like
literally it was, oh, I've crashed. Oh, Matt crashed. We have to restart. Other times it can be like, oh, Matt crashed. I'm still in first. I have enough points or whatever to get us to win, and we're fine. But
Which into...
Actually, I wonder then if we did versus instead of the co-op thing, because I think the co-op one is what puts us on the teams.
Yeah.
But if we did versus, I think it might just be us versus, like, you versus me versus AI versus AI versus, 1v1v, whatever. Every man for himself is what they call that, not 1Vs.
I have a lot of, opinions of Forza that I could probably talk about for a long time, so we'll just not get into too much of that.
Yeah, we can save it, but it's also the, I enjoy the racing still.
I do too. My issue is just like
the only thing I don't like that we've talked about is how some of the cars just end up feeling really weird after you've modified them.
Yeah, there's that, and like there's certain cars that are just better than other cars.
Well, yeah,
and it's frustrating because like if you don't pick that car initially, you're like screwed, and you have to like kind of go back and figure it out if you don't figure it out initially. Like the Subaru BRZ is one of them. That car in that game is like just they kind of actually put them together in a nice little group for you. It called what do they call them? They're called like something heroes, like
rally heroes.
No, like modify heroes or something like that. Or they have a category that's basically just like these cars mod really, really well.
Oh,
and it's like basically all the cars you should get if you want to just like fucking crush everyone.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna take my pimped out Lotus Elise 2005 and just jam it down people's throats. Then I've been playing some Ring of Elysium. We got into some duos and some squads earlier this week.
That's the free to play one.
That's the free to play one. Then we did.
Even your free to play shooters.
Hey, I'm a man of less money in my pockets in certain times. All right, I would say frugal gamer, but I'm not that much.
You kind of are.
Nah, I'm not going to take that title.
I don't see it as like a bad thing, though.
I don't see it as a bad thing, but I also know that there's much better examples of an actual pro gamer. Like somebody that would just buy the Humble Bundle monthly and only play that. Like that would be their stuff for that month. And
Yeah, but that's like...
I know.
Okay.
I know we can get into that too. I don't want to. And then Red Dead. I mean, that's really been
The redemption.
the Redemption of the Dead 2. It's been a good couple hours. That's all I got in before we started this. It's still winter, and I can't wait till I'm not in winter.
Do the seasons change? Or is it location based?
I don't know.
We don't know anything. You've been avoiding
I've
stuff.
been
I've been
avoiding-
avoiding stuff.
I've been avoiding
We know
as much
nothing.
as I've been avoiding as much as I can because I don't. Everything's just gonna get. It's like when the next Star Wars comes out next year. It's just be like, I'm going release night because I need to not see anything.
Yeah. Boba Fett movie canceled, by the way.
Wow, so shocking. You mean Han Solo didn't push Boba Fett forward? Weird.
Yeah.
That being said, I've been watching baseball. I've been watching soccer. I finished Man in the High Castle season 3.
Yeah.
Yep,
Bueno.
I'm a fan. We get kind of Westworldy. It gets a little weird. I think I discussed her seeming hoary last time,
Yeah.
and then there's a couple disappointments for me, and I had a discussion with my buddy at work who watched it, and we were kind of talking about like some of the points were like, "What? That doesn't make." There's nobody really thought this part through and stuff like that, and then the ending. I was just like, "All right, season 4. Oh, I have to wait." So we'll see. And then I watched, and I haven't finished, but I started watching Solo. Made it an hour in. And when I say I made it an hour in,
It was a
that's
struggle.
exactly as what it sounds like. I made it an hour in.
My brother sent me a code for the digital copy.
It was not my primary source of entertainment at the time, which helped it, probably. But I was just like, okay, this is a thing that I'm not really that fond of, but I'm going to try to see it through. As is my duty.
I guess.
To somebody and somebody. All right. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Shall we get into things that we're not going to play this week because Red Dead's out?
Yes.
Here's all the stuff that came out this week. Not all of it. Number 1, Cabela's The Hunt for Switch. Gwent for PC.
It's a big one, kind of.
I think it's released too, so because it's been in beta forever.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Just Dance 2019 that came out on literally everything except for PC.
Dude, it even came out on Wii.
I want to be clear, when I say everything, I mean it came out on Wii, Wii U. Yeah. The Spider-Man DLC came out this week. Nick Kart Racers came out for PS4, Xbox, and Switch. That'd be Nickelodeon for all you older people. Number 6 is Spin Tire's Mud Runner for Xbox. Number 7 is Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales for PC. Number 8 is War Thunder for the Xbox. And number 9 is, of course, Red Dead Redemption 2 for the PS4 and the Xbox One.
What do you think about those? Because I know we didn't put it on our list, but the PC rumors for Red Dead.
Interesting. That's all I have. There were people saying it was a placeholder,
Yeah.
and I'm going to sit with that. I'll say, cool, it's a placeholder until somebody proves me otherwise that it's real.
Yeah.
Uh,
If it happens, I mean, it's the odds of it happening this year before the end of
no way.
slim to none.
in 1 year at least is what I would say.
Yeah.
That being said, I forgot a list addition to that. Number 10 is Party Hard 2. Came out. For PC and then probably other things, but at least PC. And now we're going to jump right into the headlines and let's get it right out of the way early on. With number 1, the man, the myth, the legend, Jason Schreier of Kotaku has released a lengthy article on Rockstar's crunch culture, and it is as juicy as you'd expect. Excuse me with my indigestion. In case you didn't know, crunch is a term used inside the games industry or other industries to describe the days or weeks leading up to a game's release when developers tend to be working overtime to finish the game. To sum up Jason Schreier's article, Rockstar seems to be all over the board. Wow, I cannot read. Seems to be all over the board on whether their crunch culture is extreme or not. It's not surprising considering Rockstar has 9 studios all over the world and employ over 2,000 people. The article has all sorts of stories from current and former employees if you're curious. My personal favorite is a new developer being somewhat shocked that Rockstar was offering a laundry service since they wouldn't have enough time to do it themselves while making the first Red Dead Redemption. That is interesting. The interesting part of this story, as I just said interesting again, and again, interesting. Part of this story is the attention it's drawing since Rockstar is one of the heavy hitters inside the industry. Even the mainstream media has picked up the story, including discussion on whether developers need a union. That being said, go read the article. It's Jason Schreier, people. It's the only one I will put my vote always behind that is actually doing journalism inside of the games media industry.
Dude, it's a wordy one too. Like, it's long. I think he said he talked to over like 40 different people that have worked at Rockstar.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From all the studios. Like I would assume all 9 studios, if not like the majority of them.
Yeah, a bunch of people, I think, came out to discuss it. I mean, in terms of a bunch of people, that's a lot of people to get to come out and talk about something that is considered taboo-y in their industry, especially with somebody that is as big as Rockstar.
Yeah. And the part of it that seems like Rockstar's very cutthroat. Like if you work on 90% of Red Dead Redemption 2 and you leave at the last 10%, the company, you don't end up in the credits of the game.
Yeah.
That's like that's crushing. And they flat out said it. They're like, whoever his contact was at Rockstar, because Rockstar kind of like obviously knew he was writing the article, and they were kind of like, all right, you know what, we'll just give you we'll tell you what you want to know. And it was like, I think it was what their marketing had, or someone was like, yeah, that's, we believe that if you don't finish
something you started,
yeah, you
don't get credit for it
in the credits.
Which, I mean, it's cutthroat, but it makes sense. I understand the idea behind it.
I kind of do. I kind of don't. I'm of two minds on it.
I mean,
because like Red Dead's a project that like was what 70 or something like that.
7, 8.
Yeah. So like that's a long time, especially for developers that move around all the time. Like,
but then I mean, I can get it, but I also feel like if they wanted to have the fun idea of it, they run all the credits, and then at the end they just say quitters, and they just list everybody that quit the project.
Mm-hmm. And going by the article, it's like if you are at one of the studios that has a real issue with the whole idea, like the whole thing of crunch, because that seemed to be the trend, was that like it was a problem at some studios, but not all studios.
Right.
So like it rampant in Rockstar India, and then but like the U.S. branch might not have the same issue.
Right.
So, like, if you're at a studio that's bad with crunch, that they expect you to work like 60, 70 hours a week, and you're like, I can't handle this, I'm leaving, and the game gets finished in the next, 3 months.
Yeah.
You're out. You don't exist.
Deuces. I got lines for other people to put on this project.
Yup. Okay. Number 2.
Moving on.
Dead.
Oh.
Just a quick little Red Dead Redemption 2 review roundup. I'm not going to list out all the specific websites. But
round them up. Yeehaw, cowboy slang, Red Dead. Moving on.
On Metacritic, it sits at 97. And almost all the reviews have scored it between a 9 and a 10.
That would explain the 97.
Yes, it would. I was scrolling through the list, and it was like 100, you know how Metacritic does that?
Yeah.
All hundreds, all 90s, and at the very bottom, someone gave it a 70.
I love it.
I can't even remember who it was. It was like 70. It's like, really, guys? Like, out of the 79 people or whatever that reviewed this, you were the only people to score. Not even an 80. Like, there wasn't even an 80 in there. It was all literally 100 or 90 and then 70.
Horse balls don't grow same way I thought would. 70.
Not enough hair.
Notice bald spots on horses. They don't have... Oh, I can't remember that disease. Alopecia?
Sounds good.
Somebody let me know if alopecia is the disease that causes you to have no hair in certain spots. Number 3, well, somebody gets me disease facts. Secretary?
Chop, chop.
Max, let me know. I don't know where you are. Number 3. Epic Games has raised $1.25 billion in funding. $1.25 billion? Okay, all right. Well,
Yeah, dude. That's why it's capitalized.
billion in funding. In funding? It's the second largest games investment in history behind Netmarble. Yeah, you've all heard of them, right? Everybody heard of Netmarble? Cool. Netmarble's 2017 initial public offering. Netmarble is a Korean mobile publisher conglomerate, by the way. See what I did there? Letting you know. I have no idea, neither of us do, what Epic Games will do with that much money. I have a real good idea. Probably nothing.
This is what kills me, though.
They'll probably hold on to it. They'll probably have a tournament, and then their tournament will get complained about because they can't fix the lag issues that everybody in the pro scene is complaining about currently.
Here's the funny part about that I find hysterical. And it's kind of like the whole
thing
economy issue as a whole. So Epic has how much money in profit from Fortnite already? Like hundreds of millions, if not already in the billion mark.
What were they making? 500 million like a month or something?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then just investors through like funding and like normal stock market activity are like, oh, we're going to invest in
Now,
this
are they
company.
traded? I don't remember if we discussed this before. Was Epic traded?
I don't remember.
I feel like they weren't.
Probably not. So this was all just probably private funding then. They listed out, the articles that I read listed out the companies that, but it's all like what you'd expect. Like, you know, nothing that you'd recognize, all just like hedge funds and all sorts of other crap. So yeah, that's ridiculous. More money for them that they'll just pocket. The executives will pocket, I should say. And they'll come out with like updates for the game that are just generic updates that they would do regardless of that funding anyways.
All right.
Yeah, moving on. Number 4. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Mobile has added night mode as well as new grenades. Well, did you like that? New grenades?
Because
I meant to fix that.
Because you wrote new grenades. Not grenades. I got these new grenades for you. We're going to throw them there at them enemies, and we're going to blow them, boom.
The real Ron Burgundy syndrome. Anyways.
No, that's me. That's still me.
Added new grenades, weapons, and night vision goggles. Night mode is a game event that, surprise, surprise, has the match take place at night.
What?
There's no way to force night mode to happen. It's completely random, but there's a higher chance of it happening if you play at night wherever you live.
Holy shit.
You can tell if you're going into a night mode match by the background on the lobby screen.
Holy shit. Let me guess, Matt. It's probably dark.
It has,
By the way, you wrote Lottie, not Lobby.
It'll have no clouds in the sky, and there'll be a blue and pink hue in the night air.
I wonder if there will be stars. Okay, I'm going to come back to the mic now so I can actually not have to yell. But I do like yelling. Does it not sound like PUBG Mobile is more supported than PUBG PC and console?
Also thought that.
When I read that article, I went, Xbox has got to be shooting themselves straight in the foot.
So it's a separate company, right? That does mobile?
I don't know. PUBG Core,
Yeah.
I think, controls it all. Because they split from Bluehole. From Blue Waffle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't look that up. But regardless, right? they still have supported mobile, I think, better. And Xbox is like, yeah, we got PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds for Xbox exclusive. And then Fortnite's like, go fuck yourself. And everybody else is like, Call of Duty's like, oh yeah, fuck you too. Xbox is just like, but we have this thing that's an exclusive. And you're like, it's still being played, but nobody really cares, and it's barely being supported. Or so it seems.
Yeah.
That would be the conversation around the Battle Royale scene. Interesting, to say the least. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out, but it's
Do you want me to?
not
I can probably do it
conclusive.
faster. I can probably do it real quick. You want to know why? Because I'm going to go to the place you're not thinking to go.
The Play Store.
Boom.
The Google Play Store. Yeah, that would be a good idea. I mean, it seems to be the same.
PUBG just has Tencent because they're the ones that publish it. So
PUBG Core, I guess, is who it seems to be.
developer contact, PUBG Mobile _CS at Tencent Games from Singapore.
So, mobile division of PUBG Core.
So yeah, funny.
Yep.
Honestly, it's just
Embarrassing.
funny.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on
Okay.
to number 5, where Nate talks about FIFA. And the EA finally patched it. Kind of.
What were they patching?
The fact that you could bicycle kick with just about anybody in the game, regardless of what their agility rating was.
Well, that sounds like a bug. Or
And
overlooked stat somewhere.
it was just like a weird. I mean, there were other changes they made, but this was the one that was the most glaring to me. Is that you would just have defenders that are just like woohoo, like 6'5" lanky guys that don't do that, and in doing it in traffic with people all around, like in situations that wouldn't happen in, and without having to hit the actual like not trick shot, but like agility shot combo buttons of shooting, which is left trigger B.
Mm-hmm.
You would just hit B and they would just be like, I'm going to stand here, I'm going to stand here. Yeah! And they would just bury them. It wasn't like an inconsistency of, oh, I'll hit this and it might go 20 feet over the goal. It was like, no, they're going to be on frame every time. And they finally got rid of that. That's the only like really news about that, but it was just really something that bugged the shit out of me during the game when I was playing it.
Sounds a little broken.
It was broken, but luckily I didn't really run into it that much, but there's other problems in the game still that they need to patch out. But that was just one of them that I always found was super funny, because the first time it happened to me, I was on one of my defenders and scored it, and I was just like, there's no way that was supposed to happen. And I texted Kenny, like I sent him a video of it, and he's like, oh, that just happens all the time now. I was like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, I don't understand it either. I was like, oh, great, cool.
Interesting. That's completely realistic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. I mean,
What if, like, next-
it's the equivalent of putting myself in the game as I stand before you and being able to do that.
What if, like, next year, like, that becomes the thing where, like, everyone's just bicycle kicking everything?
I just want them to release FIFA Blitz, which allows me to take my cleat and put it straight into an opponent's chest, punch the ref. I mean, just a bunch of things. Let me get into a fist fight.
Full contact soccer.
Yeah, full contact soccer against the ref, and then pitch invaders. I'm allowed to kill them.
Oh, Jesus. Next, you're going to say you want, like, a randomly exploding soccer ball.
I should have the ability, if I kick it hard enough, to blow it up on the keeper.
You know what would be a fun mode? Is if the ball isn't touched within a certain amount of time, it blows up.
Like hot potato almost.
Yeah, hot potato.
Yeah,
Like if one player has the ball for too long.
yeah. You have like 10 seconds
Yeah.
to touch it with one player, and you have to just keep going.
That's good. We should patent.
EA, get to me. Let's go. Give me money. Money.
Okay.
Long one.
It is a long one.
Because guess what we're talking about, folks? Forza.
4 Route Creator.
And others.
The Forza 4 Route Creator will allow players to create point-to-point and circuit racing routes simply by driving them, painting them onto the map with their cars. That's actually a really cool idea. You can drop checkpoints.
This guy out here trying to make fun of it. And then it's like, wait a second, that sounds good.
I never look at this shit. Where was I? You can drop checkpoints wherever you like, adjust them for width, rewind to draw your route, If you're not redraw your route if you're not happy with a section. You'll have to start your route from an existing event start point in the game, but aside from that, it can go wherever in the game a car can go, including on top of the buildings. Also coming in Thursday's update is the game's first new story since launch. This week's new story has you filming 10 episodes of a TV series about classic British cars, from Aston Martin and McLaren to Talbot Sunbeam and Mini. Did I say that? Talbot? Talbot?
I would probably say Talbot, and I would have said...
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I would have said Aston, not Austin, so I don't know.
That's true. I'm not familiar with that.
And to be clear, it's Porsche. And if you really emphasize the ha at the end of it, you're super, twirly mustache.
It's unlocked at level 50, and rewards for completing it include the Bentley 8 liter. Last but not least,
tell me that's not liter. I believe it is, but
liter.
I want that so badly to sound way cooler and be like, it's the Bentley 8 liter.
Isn't the Bentley 8 already in the game? Bentley 8 liter?
I don't know.
I'm fairly certain that's like one of the barn find cars, but you have to buy the. I looked it up recently because it was one of those cars that I was like, oh, I want this, and then I found out how hard it was to get, and I was like, fuck that.
Well, now if you just do this, you get it.
So the Bentley I'm thinking of, and I'm fairly certain it might be a version of it, or like maybe it's some other car.
Well, it's the same way probably with the WRX.
You have to buy the castle. That's $10 million to get it.
There's one Edinburgh Castle, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, it unlocks a car there, but I don't remember what Bentley it is. I know which one you're talking about because I looked at it too when I was driving around Edinburgh. But yeah, you can just do this and you can get a Bentley 8. I don't know why I'm trying to sound French with it, but whatever.
The arrival of the summer season this week completes Forza Horizon 4's first 4-week seasonal cycle. 28 new seasonal events, co-op championships, and PR stunts will be added to keep the game fresh on a week-by-week basis as it runs through its second seasonal sequence. That's on top of the new Forzathon challenges and store items, some Halloween-themed cosmetic items, and of course 8 new cars added to the game in weekly pairs of Car Pass owners.
Ignore the dot. I don't know what that is. So cool. A lot of content in Forza.
There's a lot of content in there. I don't want to say it irritates me, but it's kind of weird. Like we're doing it through Game Pass, so technically I don't necessarily own the game, I guess. But for all intents and purposes, we have the standard version of the game.
Yeah, full standard version of the game. Yep.
But whenever I'm playing and I go to one of these Forzathon events or whatever, I feel like I don't own the whole game because I can't do the event. Like I have to go back to whatever the standard version of the event is, and I can't do the special event of it.
Isn't it maybe because it doesn't require like the season pass though, like the upgrade version?
Yeah, it requires, which is kind of like.
I get it.
Yeah,
but
it's just kind of like
it's not as good as Origin Access Premier, where Kenny and I both have FIFA and Madden, but we have the Hall of Fame edition and the Ultimate edition.
Yeah. See, like that's they're giving you everything.
Yeah, I'm paying $15 a month, and I have a $90 game, $80 game, something like that.
Yeah, you're doing Game Pass, and they're like, well, the fact that that's just the standard version of the game, and it's like, oh, you have to buy the standard version of this game, and you also have to do our Car Pass or whatever it is.
Yeah. It's funny whenever I open it up, right, and they're like, the Car Pass this week, and I'm like, those are 2 pretty cool cars, but I don't give a shit.
Yep.
I'm going to smoke those cars with my Lotus.
You and your Lotus obsession.
So somebody posted in our subreddit.
Really?
An article to Lotus things. It was a wiki. Discussing also that the Tesla Roadster was design inspired by a Lotus Elise. It explains why I like the Tesla Roadster look so much.
I bought the Evora.
Oh.
I haven't messed with it yet, though.
Not one I would. The next one I think I'm going to buy. I think I'm going to buy all of them first off. But there's ones I don't like. Like obviously the boxy one that's like their actual race car. I don't remember which one it is. You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
No, it's all. Next one's going to be the Exige.
I mean, really, Lotus doesn't have a bad car.
So. No, it just there's visuals that I don't like.
Yeah.
So next one's going to be the Exige. Because I have credits, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with other than buy weird houses and stuff. So I'm just going to drop an Exige in.
Yeah.
The only thing I really wish they would allow me to have a parking garage. Like, I don't give a shit about all these houses.
I find it really
want
weird
a
that they
parking
don't.
garage.
Like,
I so badly want a parking garage.
I think it was one of the
GTA,
first Forces had one where you could walk around your garage, like literally walk around your garage.
GTA, I can walk around my garage.
It's so
It's
weird.
10 cars, but let me choose it at one of these houses, right? Let me choose a 10-car garage that I can choose the 10 cars that go in.
Yeah.
Like, I own all these other ones, but I'm going to park these 10 here because these are my babies.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take care of my babies. The rest of y'all can go sleep in the barn. I'm taking care of the babies.
Yeah, we got some more car news on here.
That we do, but it's later. So, moving on. Number 7. Jade Raymond has left EA Motive. Things are not looking good in the Star Wars camp over at Electronic Arts headquarters. One of the studio heads just departed the company after working on some unreleased projects for a couple of years. EA Motive studio director Jade Raymond left after being brought in to help spearhead the studio's Star Wars projects. That being said, Motive were the guys that were above Visceral when Visceral lived. Obviously, Amy Hennig's out. We've talked about that before. So their game, oh God, I don't remember. Was it Ragtag? Yeah, Ragtag, that's the code name for it, is now completely rocked. And now Amy's gone. The person that stepped in to help it is now leaving. Welcome to EA's Nightmare in Star Wars games. We're not seeing anything. I think the only thing that might potentially kind of be safe is whatever this thing is that Respawn is working on. And even that, I'm not holding my breath for.
Yeah, they need some help.
No, they just need to not sell the license to a shit company.
I think kind of the problem is that EA's not letting the projects happen.
EA is not. That was half the problem with the Amy thing, where obviously there was the stories of not getting along with management, yada yada yada. But I believe they had that game designed to be this single player thing, and then EA is like, "No, we want multiplayer. Make Force things and lightsabers," and they're like, "What the fuck?" Which is immediately EA is just like, "We like money. Why don't we see how the money keeps coming from this game?" And you're like, by trying to not treat your customers like a pile of dog shit? What is that? What does that mean? Does that mean they give us less money? I don't like that. Fuck them. Give me money. I could fit right in an EA boardroom. That's all I'm saying.
It just reminds me of the meme, like, the boardroom meeting where they throw the guy out the window.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
he does the suggestion.
All right, we need to boost profits. What could we do? Release a single-player game and not beg your consumers for money in order to literally play it?
Throwing out the window. Fallout 76's next beta period will be on the Xbox One. Will be on Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard
And
Time.
totally good luck with this. I just butchered this whole sentence.
And then Sunday from noon to 2 Eastern Standard Time. The PlayStation 4 and Windows PC will get in on the beta action beginning October 30th. And I'm assuming this comes via Polygon.
It
is what I'm
does,
looking
because that man there,
Owen Good.
Owen Good, has an article up that I didn't want to completely rip out from his experience with the beta,
Oh, okay.
discussing...
Was he the one who, like... I
couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I can
Did
tell you what
read
he
it?
wrote, but I can't tell you who he is.
Okay. All right. What did he say? Because I read an article and also
Really like stash boxes,
Okay.
which are scattered around the map that store your inventory or store your
Okay.
junk, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Really critical for VATS. Really needs the VATS. And these events that sound like public events in Destiny that are always happening were kind of causing some problems because their frequency was too high and just kept happening where he was.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had some other stories about how he's like, I don't think you understand how hard it is to try to find an object that you're on a quest for with a person that has already found it and is trying to explain it to you. Another person that says they're standing on top of it. And then the fourth guy is just talking about absolutely nothing to do with anything you guys are talking about.
Yeah,
Which I think
isn't
is just a symptom of his party, where
Yeah.
with us, I'm sure it won't be that way. But it's very much the Destiny problem where one person could be looking for something and everybody else is just, Yep, cool. Yeah, so did you guys see the game last? Where is the fucking thing?
So the dude, I can't remember who it was. I can't even remember. I don't know. Maybe it was Forbes. I think it was a Forbes article. But the guy was basically like, my immersion was broken because the first person I come across was a person named Turd Ferguson. And I'm like, that seems very Fallout-esque. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
And then after that, he said he didn't see anyone for like the rest of the game or something like that. The rest of the time of him playing, and his complaint about the games so far was basically that it was like really barren as far as like people, like running into people and stuff like that, and like what's going on, like NPCs and stuff.
It's such a weird complaint to me in that situation because literally Fallout is barren, and technically at the moment, every Fallout we know, not counting this one, is void of other people.
Yeah, and the other thing is like it's bizarre to me because I keep seeing.
I see it's
50, the opposite arguments.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, how could this person over here being like
not see anybody,
not see anyone, and the person over here is like, it's utter chaos. Like,
I feel like the guy that didn't see anybody is the guy that had to review it with no other friends to play with. And now that sounds bad. But that's not how I mean it.
I was talking to someone about this, and they're like, I bet he was the guy that it was someone who's also played the beta, and they're like, if you follow in the beta, if you follow like the main story arc or whatever, you'll see people. But the second that you like veer off and just say, I'm going to go exploring, no one.
Yeah, because that makes sense. That's how it would normally happen. That's how it even happens in WoW.
Yeah.
If you're following, like once you're in the areas and you're like, man, I'm going to go do this quest. You might see one person over there, but the moment you walk back to the city, oh, weird, there's everybody. So basically what we're saying is Nate's going to see everybody, Matt's not going to see anyone, and we're going to wonder if we're in the same game.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably it.
All right, so guys, what should we do? All right, Matt's going over there. I'm not going over there, and we're moving on.
Then eventually we'll get back together again.
About
Nate,
3 hours.
He'll have like 30 rocket launchers strapped to his back, wearing like 3 different suits of power armor, and I'll be like, I have a bag full of bottle caps.
It'll be three.
I have a bag full of pencils and empty cans.
It'll be 3 hours later, and I'll come back up and be like, all right, I'll come find you. And then I'll just come up behind you, who has just been in the same terminal for the last hour just reading. And I'm in a full power suit looking like Iron Man with like rockets just coming out of the shoulders. Like, yeah. All right, so I'm ready to go fight everybody. What are you? Oh, God, you're still in the basic armor. Do you have a gun yet? No?
Let me tell you the story about these scientists.
But let me tell you, if we can potentially find the family whose farm this was, we might be able to get some wood to build a house. Matt, I'm just going to go kill somebody and take their house. That sounds more efficient, but this way is more fun.
For me.
Oh, boy. Sad part is that's all probably true. Number 9. DICE have apologized for the Battlefield 5 delay by giving us free items at launch as long as people are playing in the first week. So if you play in the first week, you're going to get these items. That's what that means. Not like, holy shit, if nobody plays our game in the first week, you get nothing. The Oscar Mike helmet and Oscar Mike emblem will be available to all of those who sign in during that period.
Sweet.
Cool little thing. I'm all about cosmetics when they're free.
I have the sneaking
I'm also about paid cosmetics, but literally only pay for cosmetics, not...
Yeah. I have the suspicion that Battlefield 5 is not going to do well.
I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to lie dormant until about the Game Awards, and then something's going to go crazy, and it's going to take off till, like, Christmas.
February?
No, till Christmas. Till right before Christmas, because what's going to happen at Christmas is what happens every year. You get Christmas noobs.
Christmas noobs.
And Christmas noobs will be flooding into Call of Duty, Battlefield, and everything else, but Call of Duty will just get a spike when you have people like Doc and Shroud destroying a bunch of people who just got the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
That being said, whatever we're moving on to.
Where are we? Drake is now a co-owner of an esports organization.
100 Thieves.
The company 100 Thieves just
See what I did there?
just finished a round. Speaking of funding, just finished a round of funding with Drake and music producer Scooter Braun ending up as co-owners. 100 Thieves is a lifestyle brand, apparel, and esports organization founded by Call of Duty Pro, or ex-pro, I guess I should say, Matthew Haag?
I don't know, but also known as Nate Shot.
Yes. He's also still co-owner as well.
Yeah.
Like they're all
They're
equally
three,
co-owning.
at least co-owners now.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like he's not. Originally, when I saw this, I was like, "Well, that's kind of crazy." But then I was like, the company is a apparel, it's apparel and lifestyle brand that also kind of does some esports stuff on the side.
Mostly does esports stuff, I would say. They have the because he wanted to get into esports. I think he's finally submitted a Call of Duty team. He has a League team. I think he submitted a Counter-Strike team. Streamers are underneath him on contract.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know if it's like the other stuff makes up more of their profit or whatever, and that's why they put the emphasis on that.
I think the apparel would technically make up more of their profit, where they can use the teams for exposure. Because I don't know what technically you'd be how much you'd be making off the teams and stuff like that. But yes, that in that technical sense, yes, probably the profit sharing or profit margins on their apparel are higher and more lucrative than the teams. But without the teams, you don't have hand in hand thing. Number 11 is where we're going to get all educational on you. The Library of Congress and U.S. Copyright Office outlined a new set of exemptions to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. The new set of rules will allow consumers to hack software on their devices to perform repairs. Essentially, it'll be illegal to break DRM. It'll be legal to break DRM in order to bring a device back to, quote, a state of working in accordance with its original specifications, end quote.
For shizzle.
Which, when we say that, we mean their software, or are we also discussing still the hardware thing? Because I know this came up before when we were talking about people breaking into their Xboxes that they weren't allowed to if you happen to just take that sticker that says this voids your warranty. And it's like,
I mean, it's from I think it's all still kind of up in the air as of how far reaching it is, but from my understanding, it's predominantly a software thing.
Okay. I mean,
but
either one.
It kind of makes, there was, I think PC Gamer went into a thing about how you could you might be able to use this to revive dead games, kind of like games that server support had ended for.
Right. Yeah. Because if you can break the DRM in them,
yeah,
then you could do what you needed to, which technically would make any game DRM free.
Well, if you have the means to break the DRM, I guess.
And you have the slight legality to not have to go to court if you do it to a big enough company.
All right. Got your next car here, Nate.
My next car?
Your next car.
Oh, boy. I hope it's a Lamborghini.
It's not.
For the two-time. All right.
It's a McLaren.
I'll take it.
McLaren announced a new car. Well, they showed off a new car. It's interesting. It's very interesting. It's called the McLaren Speedtail.
Speedtail.
It reminds me of, I don't know if you're familiar with the Jaguar XJ220.
A Jaguar?
If I showed you, I don't know if you're going to know it by name. It's got a weird name. But if I showed you a photo of it, you would know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And the old Volkswagen and Auto Union Streamliners from the 30s. But let me give you the specs.
All right. Give me the details. The raw power details.
All right, you want raw power? I'll start with the horsepower number.
Give me it.
1,035 through a hybrid engine.
We're above 3 digits. I'm happy. Keep going.
They won't tell us anyone about the engine. They just said it's a hybrid engine. No one's seen it. No one's seen the engine. I find that interesting.
Well, I have a 40-inch penis.
Exactly.
And no one's seen that.
Its top
so
speed.
You can't tell me I'm wrong.
Its top speed is 250 miles per hour.
I mean, all right.
It goes 0 to 186 in 12.8 seconds.
So what's the breakdown on a 0 to 60 then?
I
Are
don't
we
know, it
sub
didn't
4?
say. I think the 186 is like 200 kilometers, and that's why they use 186.
Oh, okay.
Or
In
300.
how many? 12 seconds? 18?
12.8 seconds
12.8 seconds.
to 186.
I'm trying to think of a stretch of land that I could, around us, probably the road you're about to take home, is the only one that I could get to 186 on.
I mean, you only
in
need
12
seconds.
Yeah, but with not dying trying to come back down from
Oh, I
186.
didn't hear that part.
Yeah. The idea of having to also get from, so that's the other thing I'd be curious about. What's their time from 0 to 186 to 0?
I don't know. They didn't say. Obviously.
One way to find out. Buy one.
It's $2.25 million. They're making like 100 and something of them. I can't remember.
I can afford that next year. That's respectable.
And the interesting part about it is it has a very interesting look that we'll look at later, but it has carbon fiber ailerons that flex for more downforce. So they're designed in such a way that they'll, as you go faster, they'll flex and then thus create even more downforce.
Weird flex, but okay.
Flexing on you.
Haha, you see what I did there? Memes. Yeah, the car's just out here. It's just like, yeah, give me some downforce.
1,000 horsepower.
That's probably what a car sounds like, too. It's just like, oh, yeah, we're going to go fast. Oh,
So fast. Apparently it's designed, McLaren modeled it after what do they say? The fastest shape in nature, which is a teardrop.
interesting.
Yes.
So we've seen concept cars look like teardrops before. We'll look.
Yeah, we'll take a gander.
That being said, that's the news.
That's it.
That means Nate goes through deals.
Deals done
In which-
right.
DDR? Deals done right, the DDR section.
Sure.
If you're watching this live, you'll see arrows going up on the screen. Make sure you punch your screen when they reach the bottom or top, whatever I just said.
Hard.
Hard as you can.
Got to make sure it registers.
Yeah, if it doesn't register, hit it again. Gamers 2 is not responsible for anything you might do. All right, there's Halloween sales all over the place. You can go find them. Probably Spookums. Spookums is a good reference. There's also Halloween modes in almost everything. Fortnite's got its Halloween modes going on. I think Call of Duty put theirs, and there's Halloween everywhere. There's also still Humble Bundles. There's bundles on there. Go look at them if you want them. I didn't feel like calling any of them out. But I will call out the monthly. The monthly is going to be your last week that I'm going to call it out that you have a chance to get it, which is guaranteed to be Hollow Knight, Hitman Complete First Season, and 7 Days to Die. And there will be more when it officially releases. PlayStation Plus, the last week I'm calling this one out for you. For the month of October, you get Friday the 13th, Spookum game, Laser League, Master Reboot, The Bridge, Rocket Birds 2 Evolution, and 2064 Read-Only Memories. For Xbox Games with Gold for the month of October, you get Overcooked,
That's a good one.
Victor Vron, and Hitman Blood Money. And then Twitch Prime, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. Make sure to link your account and then throw that free sub at somebody as well. But it also means you get the games Darksiders War Mastered Edition, Sanitarium. So you know the song is by Metallica, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the Limp Bizkit cover of that song?
No.
I like it way better. Sanitarium to me by Metallica is too slow, which is typical for Metallica songs. We take 20 minutes to get anywhere.
Yeah.
But Limp Bizkit's is very much more like a actual like up-tempo breakdown of it. I'll show you after. Soma, another Spookum game, and System Shock Enhanced Edition. But again, those are all Twitch Prime. Continue to find us on Reddit. I like actually seeing something because it got sent to me and somebody said, "Hey, look." And I went,
What the fuck?
"Who the hell wrote that?" And then they're like, "It wasn't you?" And I was like, "That's not my username." They're like, "You didn't make an alt?" I was like, "That's not me." And I went
I don't even have the sub on my account. So.
and I went looking to see their account history. I have ideas of who it is, and I went to see their account history. There isn't any. So that made me really think I might know who it is. but I'm just keeping thoughts in my head. That's all it is. It's in my head. You can listen to us on all podcast services all across the globe. It goes up to those satellites. You can pull it down from any service anywhere. And then that's it. You got anything else, Matt?
Nada.
Are you looking forward to horse testicles this week? Because
I
I tell you what, I haven't looked when they're in the snow because I forgot until we started doing this that was the joke. And I am going to tonight when I get back to it.
Yeah, I'm going to probably run into the unfortunate circumstance of where I'm not going to be able to play a lot until next week. So
that is what one of the guys I was talking to at work, he's like, hey, so did you play last night? And I was like, no, I went to bed before midnight. He's like, I hopped in and just kind of looked around a little bit, but then I passed out. And I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, you going to play this weekend? And he's like, oh, no, I'm not. He's like, he's not going to be home at all. Then he's on travel the entire next week, so he's hosed. I was like, man, that sucks. I was like, take your PlayStation with you. You're going for business. Every time you're done, just go back to the hotel and play Red Dead. Who cares? Anyway, that's the Gamers 2 podcast for the week of October 26th. Tune in next week where we discuss probably Red Dead.
yeah.
That's the only thing I can say for certain. There's nothing coming out next week. So for certain, Red Dead.
When's Fallout come out?
November. Like 11th or something.
Oh, so it's the following week.
It's the week before Battlefield, which is the week of Thanksgiving. Well, we'll figure it all out next week. Anyway, tune in another time to the same bat channel, same bat time. Bye-bye.